Good day and welcome to another week of A Week at the Plot, and we're starting on a Wednesday. Unusually it's it's coming up to 5:30, so Monday and Tuesday was quite busy at my desk, but also we have had our fence line at our home done. So from the front of our property right along the side and along the back, we have had a new fence line put in, and Richard and I are so happy with it. It looks fantastic. We were hoping to have it done before the pandemic, then the pandemic came in and blah blah blah, various quotes, ludicrous prices in some instances, and then a plot neighbour, oh there's an apple in my hair, a plot neighbour, not a plot neighbour here, no, not a neighbour at the bottom of our road suggested this company, which once I've got their full name I'll put it down below, because she had them in to do her fence line. I checked her fence line, it looked great, and we contacted the guy and he said yes, I can do it, it will be this amount of money, really good price, and I can do it in about 6 weeks time. And it has been done. So it was supposed to be done sort of the back end of this week, and then he called us on Sunday and said that a job on the Monday had been postponed and could he bring it forward. And that meant that Richard and I on Sunday afternoon, we both went out into the garden to do an awful lot of tidying up and clearing. Or not an awful lot, but we'd done a lot beforehand. But you know how it is, you sort of wait for some things to the last minute. And also we had some raffia fencing that needed to come out at the last minute because next door have got a dog, so you know we couldn't bring that out before the fence line was put in. So yeah, we spent a lot of time on Sunday, or a couple of hours on Sunday, clearing things up, sorting things out so that the fence line could go in on Monday and Tuesday. The guy said it would take 2 days. It took 2 days, and we are absolutely happy with it, with the price, with how we were treated, with the questions that I got asked. I was at my desk, and if they had a question, can we cut this back? Is it okay if we do this? They just sort of shouted up at me. I came down and had a chat with them. They were great, and everything they took out, they took away. So old fencing and that type of thing they took away, where others were giving us a quote even higher and also saying you'll have to hire a skip to have everything taken away. So I only popped down here to water at the end of day on Monday and Tuesday. And today I've been at my desk again. And then this afternoon, Richard and I started sort of looking at what needed to come down here. He decided that our cedrics and our cedrichetas needed to come down here rather than be at home. As you know, we're putting the house on the market in the next couple of months, and he felt having a wormery at the side of the house might not give the best look for prospective buyers. So they are now ensconced at the side of the shed here. I think we'll look at them another day, or look at where they're going to be another day, because I do have a storage unit, a plastic storage unit at the side of the shed, which butts up against the front of the shed and plot neighbour, and I think I'm going to move it over to butt up against the back of the shed, and then the cedrics and cedrichetas can go at the side at the front here. Putting them there means they'll get a little bit of sun, but they won't get full sun. I mean, they won't get full sun at the back anyway, but they'll get a little bit more sun there than they would the other side. And also that area is better protected from really cold winds, because our prevailing wind direction, it sort of splits the shed here, if you like. So that corner is absolutely fine for them. So I needed to come down and bring our peelings for our compost bin anyway. So I came down, took the wheelbarrow back, brought down the cedrics and cedrichetas, went back home, got some more stuff from the side of the house and the back of the house that really should be here. And yeah, I'm just really happy to have that sort of blockage of the old fence gone and a new fence, giving sort of reinvigoration of what we can do with that space to make it look even better. So that was great. And then I thought, instead of decanting worm juice at home, where Richard might go, yeah, I don't want you to do that, I thought I'd decant it here. And I started with a small jar, because I normally get 2 small jars out of it. And in the end, yeah, worm juice. You see it? Yay! So great to have that. It's obviously not drinkable by me. I don't think it's drinkable by me, but I wouldn't drink it anyway. This is for our plants outside and will be diluted. So that's absolutely brilliant. So in the wormery, what happens is, as they break down scraps and cardboard and that type of thing, the liquid gets released, and that liquid falls into the bottom where there's a separate area, and then you use that tap to drain the liquid off, and then you can use it as a fertilizer. So that's absolutely fabulous. And also, in one of my trips back up the road, I met one of our neighbours, another neighbour actually, at the bottom of the road, our Indian lady who gave us the Indian Perennial Kale, and she has the most magnificent rose. It's sort of like a Victoria rhubarb colour and custard. I call it the rhubarb and custard rose because it really looks like rhubarb and custard, and then it goes to a sort of a white with pinky flecks, so it's really quite interesting. I have no idea what variety it is, but I did say to her a couple of weeks ago I'd love to take some cuttings from it once the flowering is sort of done and dusted. And anyway, today, even though the flowering's not done and dusted, she said, I'm going to look at cutting it back in a couple of weeks, so do you want to take some cuttings? So I've got cuttings here. I put them in, she gave them to me, I went back home, put them in this plastic bag, ran water over them, and as you can see, it's got a tie at the front, at the top, and now I'm going to go into the poly and take cuttings from these, which is great. I'm going to do it in the same way as we have done cuttings before, including those wonderful tumbling pink roses, which we gave a couple to Vivi as well. So I'm going to be using organic hormone rooting powder, or organic rooting powder. As you may remember, if you've been watching a while, we have had a few people who said to us, well, why don't you use honey? And we did a test with the blackberry cuttings, the thornless blackberry cuttings. We did 1 set of 4 with hormone rooting powder. We did another 4 without anything whatsoever, just cut and then banged in the, well, not banged, placed in the ground, in the compost, in the pot. And then a third pot of 4 cuttings we did with honey. And none of the ones with honey survived or grew well. Most of them died. I think putting honey on actually helped the wound heal. I don't think it helped it root at all. The hormone rooting powder, 3 of those have survived and are doing really well. And on the where we use nothing at all, 2 have survived, one of which is looking absolutely fine, and 1 is just about getting away with it at the moment. So we've got 5 cuttings, 3 of which were from hormone rooting powder. So yeah, it's what I've used for years, and it's what I'm going to continue to use when I do my cuttings. So I'm going to do those now, and tomorrow I'm hoping to get out some beetroot, the modular sown beetroot. I won't have time to do it today. So I've watered that bed today because it was looking quite dry, so I've given it a good water. I actually gave it 2 watering cans in the end rather than the one that you saw me do. So yeah, I'm pleased I have done that, because it means I can get on with another job tomorrow, which is going to be planting out the beetroot, modular sown beetroot, and also those 5 celeriac that we've got. I've decided they are going to go into that bed where we have the beetroot at the moment, because I find that beetroot they like water. Yeah, I find they like water. Maybe it's just that bed that we sow them into, we plant them into and grow them in. But that bed and the beetroot seem to sort of generally do okay. Didn't do okay last year, and I know that that first sowing that we did, or the first sowings in that bed that we did this year, it was from old seed, and only the standard Italian beetroot did okay. So yeah, so I think that's about it for today. Yeah, I am going to go and chat to a plot neighbour now. I've got a little bit more watering to do. I did oil the bolt of the padlock on our gate today, just a drop of oil, and then I used loo paper to wipe off any excess, because with our lock it can be quite temperamental, as padlocks can be. If you put too much oil in them, they don't actually click shut. So yeah, that it was looking a little bit tight yesterday. It was feeling a little bit tight, so I put that oil on, and it's really loosened up the bolt now, so that's great. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop rambling. See you again very soon. Bye. Good day. I'm hoping to get these beetroot in today. These at the front are Biatollo d'Otto, and at the back Di Chioggia. You can see these are the, well, you can't see, but these are the red and white concentric circles, and they're paler in leaf than the traditional beetroot, because even though this is an Italian variety, it's a very traditional round red beetroot. So these have got okay roots. Yeah, you can see here, okay roots, and I'm going to get them into the bed. Let me just show you where the bed is. This is the bed that I was watering yesterday, though actually as I left home the heavens opened, so it's had a real good deluge this afternoon as well. And all I'm going to do is my usual of placing things out. So each of the modules will come out of the tray and will be planted as a whole module into a hole that I make here. So I'm not separating the beetroot in any way from the others within the same module. So 4 or 5 beetroot, or 3 if there are, will all grow together. So yeah, I'm going to get on and do that, and then hopefully we'll see that afterwards. I was hoping to strim today, and I was ready to strim, though with that heavy deluge of rain that we had, strimming will have to wait until tomorrow or Saturday. So that is those modular sown beetroot in. Down this side is the traditional red beetroot, and then over here we've intermingled the Di Chioggia. And these that I did think were chard, they are actually beetroot, and up here and over here they are beetroot. So yeah, I thought they were chard, but there we are. We live and learn. I did think it was odd that I sowed beetroot seeds and chard were coming up, but now I know I was incorrect. Let's just have a look at where I put the celeriac. I had 1 beetroot left over, one of the Di Chioggias. I put that there more as a snail attractor, because I don't want them to eat these. So we had 5 celeriac, and I put them in here. I've decided that the tomatoes will likely be out before these are obviously ready to be harvested, so they can grow on here. So we've got 5 celeriac in, and I will remember, as we're going to be watering these tomatoes virtually daily, I thought this is a good place to put them, because we'll remember to water these 5 celeriac daily as well. That's it for today. My view from the shed at the moment. A second ago it was dark grey clouds, and now you can see it's blue sky with lots of white cloud. It's a rather funny angle, isn't it? Why have I got you at that funny angle? Never mind. And beyond with the chickens, you can see our neighbour's plot. A plot that is envy the right word? I admire. A plot that I really admire. Yeah, maybe I'll ask them if we can have a look at it one day, but yeah, I really admire it. And up here, if I can grab my stick from the corner there, up here is a fabulous chicory that's in flower. We don't have any on our plot this year, gone to flower, or don't have any on our plot this year, nor verbascum, which is very odd, but there we are. So yes, happy to have got those beetroot in and the celeriac in, and in fact now we have everything in the ground that we had planned to put in this year. Yes, we've still got some space, and yes, we still have beans to go in, but those beans that we have sown are replacement beans for ones that have been munched. So I can not quite sit back, but I can be happy in the knowledge that we have everything in the ground at the moment that I had planned to be in the ground. Yeah, there we are. Right, bit of tidying up to do, but I think I'm just going to put my sunglasses put my sunglasses on and sit out in the sun for a few minutes. See you very soon. Bye. Good day in our back garden, which needs a lot of work, but there's time to do it. And this is the fence line that has been put in, which we're really happy about. And as you know, we're going to be moving from here at some point in the next sort of 6 months to a year. These are all our pots which need sorting out. So we've got a lot of sorting out to do. But one thing that I was going to really miss is these huge palms. These are Cordyline australis, cabbage palms. These flower each year, and that's most probably 20 foot tall, something like that. Another one over there. We used to have one at the back too. There's one this big at the front of the house as well. And these came from Dad how many years ago? In 2004. These were little, they were like spring onions, the size of spring onions, and Dad brought them from Guernsey wrapped in newspaper. They were cuttings from his garden, or new plants actually that had grown from the root, though we don't have any growing from the root here. But yeah, and I was wondering, how am I going to, or is it even possible to try and somehow propagate these? And then when we were clearing everything the other day, getting ready for the fence line to go in, I noticed down here one is growing between 2 patio slabs. So I'm absolutely delighted by that, and I'm going to use a knife to pull it out and pot it up, and yeah, then we'll have something of Mum and Dad from their house that they had 20 years ago
to take with us to our new home. And as you can hear, there's lots of noise going on at the house next door, which is being renovated. So I'll leave it here and we'll have a look at this another day. Bye.
Good day. You may remember that I've been saying for ages that I want to get this banner up, this sort of tarpaulin ground cover that we've had here for rather too long. In fact, so long it's actually featured on Google Images if you look at our allotment. You may also remember that this area over here has got a frog or two in it. We call this Skanky Water Pond with Skanky Water Frog, and with me taking up the banner at some point next week, I didn't want to leave the frog or frogs here homeless. So I've dug this hole and inserted a upside down compost bin lid, and that's going to be the pond for this area. I was going to do something else, but this is what I have decided to do, obviously, because I've done it. So next week I'll be taking up the rest of the tarpaulin, the rest of the banner. But in the meantime, I wanted to get this in here so that the water that's in here, which is tap water, can aerate off. And hopefully we'll get some rain as well, and that will do this good too. I'll most probably also get some pondweed from one of the other ponds and just pop it in here. But just as I was convinced that life would come to our below ground and above ground washing up bowl ponds, I'm sure life will come to this one too. Maybe not in our time here, though maybe, who knows, who knows. What I'm hoping is that by displacing skanky water frog from here, he or she will come back and go, oh yeah, well there's a pond, so yeah, I'll go there instead. Maybe not in the next few days or next few weeks, but maybe in a month or so. And then we can bring frog life back to this area, because we know it's underneath that lavender. And of course, what I will allow to happen is for grasses and wildflowers to grow around this area to shade the pond. I've been thinking of doing this for far too long. I was going to put a deeper pond in here with a pond liner, but tide and time wait for no man, and I decided this week that this was a job I wanted to get done. So it is done. Let's see what's under the compost for our first harvest of potatoes. I wonder if there will be anything at all. That's a seed potato. Sort of okay harvest. That's it for this week's A Week at the Plot. And I'm really pleased to have got that additional pond in, which will replace the skanky water pond on top of the banner that we've got there. I've sort of seen the frog that is there and pointed to it, so hopefully he or she will understand that that is where the pond is. I have noticed with the fellow plot neighbour 3 frogs in our above ground washing up bowl pond, so we just had a look at those. And before I go now and go back home, I'm going to take some of the pondweed from the above ground washing up bowl pond and put it into that new pond, and then that can start the work of aerating that pond and hopefully multiplying and making it a happy living area for wildlife. And then next week we'll get on to taking up the rest of the banner and really having a look at that front plot and seeing what or front area, not plot, front area, and seeing what it's best to do with it. I'm thinking that actually maybe wildflowers might be the way to go for that area. I'm thinking of that. Anyway, there we are. I am going to say goodbye to you now. I'm really pleased to have got that harvest of potatoes. I've had a look at them. Where are they? There they are. So that's from one plant. We've got some which just need a bit of scraping and then they'll be fine. So I think we're going to have those with some salt and butter this evening. What we'll have with them, I don't know. But I'm sure we'll find something to have with them, even if it just be some lettuce. Oh, we could have a warm salad, couldn't we? We could have a warm salad. I think we might do that. Yeah. Right, before I go, I'm just going to do a bit more watering, and then I'll be down here tomorrow to give everywhere a real good water, because I like to water the whole plot once a week. I did it at the beginning of last week, so I'll do it at the beginning of next week. When I say last week, I mean this week. And when I say next week, I mean tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to get on and do that tomorrow, and we will pick up with you for another first segment of A Week at the Plot in a couple of days. So happy Sunday if you're watching this on Planet Vegetaria, and have a good week if you're watching it on YouTube. See you soon. Bye.